Good morning, adventurers. Good morning, military adventurers. DJ Wayne here. Veterans Day weekend. We are in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina at USS Yorktown. Today we are honoring the men and women who are currently serving and who have served in our United States military. Myself, proud U.S. Navy veteran, 10 years, 3 ships, 1 shore duty. Beautiful day. I'm in between 2 events in Pawleys Island. Had a wedding last night, got a corporate event tonight. So I figured I'm coming to Charleston and we're gonna bring you guys on an exciting venture here on the USS Yorktown Aircraft Carrier. Got a ship there getting ready to go overseas. Couldn't ask for a prettier day, that's for sure. So buckle up, enjoy the ride as we hop on board the USS Yorktown Aircraft Carrier 10. And then over there is USS LAFFEY DD-724. And then we'll see what else we can get into while we're here. It's gonna be a great day. If you have served or if you are currently serving, thank you for your service. Please, in the comments below, I do love hearing from everybody. Let me know what branch you served, when you served, and where were you stationed? I'd love to hear from you. We are definitely going to get our steps in today. Should we go on the Destroyer first? Yeah, let's do that. Let's get on the Destroyer first. That was the first ship I was stationed on, the Destroyer. Let's go. DD-724 USS LAFFEY. The first ship I was on was the USS Cunningham, DDG-17. Adams class destroyer, based out of Norfolk, Virginia. Unfortunately, I came on board in October of 1989. In May of 1990, we were 150 miles off the coast of North Carolina when we had a fuel oil strainer explosion. Almost split the ship in 2. The only person that we lost was the communications officer, my boss. He went in to save his roommate's life, Lieutenant JG. The Lieutenant JG survived. Unfortunately, my communications officer did not. CIC is open, that's cool. But because of all the damage done to the USS Cunningham, big hole on the side of the ship, they had to decommission it. But that was the first ship I was stationed on. So now, we're gonna start with this one. Respectfully request permission to come aboard.
Is inside the tight quarters of this mount. The mount captain heads this crew consisting of a trainer, a sight setter, a pointer, a sight checker, a fuse setter, 2 projectile enrapment, 2 powdermen, 2 hot casemen, and 2 shell guardmen, all working together with exacting precision to fire these huge guns, which are capable of firing up to 22 55-pound rounds per minute per barrel, up to 18,000 yards, and as high as 37,000 feet. It is 0827 hours, the morning of April 16th, 1945, and the LAFFEY is on screening patrol off the northern coast of Okinawa when 50 Japanese planes are spotted approaching from the south. Your heart pounds when you hear the call.
Switch to automatic. Cabin crew, fill the hoist
0830 hours, 4 of the planes break formation, making a kamikaze run.
So I'm not going to show all that video, but I will tell you 6 people inside died that day, inside that gun turret right there. 5-minute film. You can watch it if you come out. Highly recommend it. Post office, one of the most popular places on the ship. Mail call. That's the word you want to hear when you're at sea and you've been out at sea for quite a long time. There's where you get all your goodies. Well, when duty calls. You want to learn some Navy terminology? Go ahead and pause the video. We'll continue in 3, 2. Here's all the ribbons and medals that this destroyer has won in its career. I just posted on social media the ones that I have. And there's a nice list. Again, you want to take a look at it, we'll zoom in there. You can pause. 3, 2, and we'll continue. Not on the tour, but we'll just kind of take a gander down there. See what we can see down there. So as a radioman, the ET shop fixed everything that we broke. That's the easiest way to put it, the electrician's shop. If we broke it and we couldn't fix it, we had to call the ETs. Ship's office. And knee knockers for recruits. If you're running and you're not paying attention, these things right here hurt. They can cause some pretty good damage. Sick bay, take 2 Motrin and call me tomorrow. Regardless. Lost an arm, take 2 Motrin, call me tomorrow. Headache, take 2 Motrin, call me tomorrow. Need a tooth pulled, take 2 Motrin, call me tomorrow. Ship's laundry. Now that's definitely interesting. The Laffey was the first of its class to contain interior passageways, protecting sailors from the elements and being lost overboard. Wow. Did not know that. thankfully for this ship, because chow time. The Galley. Sliders. Again, Navy terminology, sliders. Not much larger than a home kitchen. This galley served 350 people 4 times a day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and mid-rats overnight. All right, we are now below decks. Gyro compass. Mark I fire control computers. Was up to stairs, top side, talking to some volunteers. They normally volunteer at the USS North Carolina battleship in Wilmington. They're here and they're in their uniforms, but they're hanging out up in the officers' wardroom, and they're talking about hope any khakis don't come in, because they're not supposed to be in the officers' wardroom. They should be down here in the galley. This is where the workers hang out and eat. All right, more terminology. What's that called right there? That's a scuttlebutt. That's not a water fountain, that's a scuttlebutt. Here's some USS LAFFEY memorabilia. These are your lockers that would be down in the berthing areas where we sleep. Each sailor would get one of these. Can't get into it, but that's what it would look like. Ours was a little different, but that's where you'd store all your clothes and all your belongings. Ours did not look quite like this, by no means, but actually this is a lot more space than what we had actually. All right, back down the passageway we go. Watch the knee knockers. So everybody, when you come on board a ship, you get mess duty at some point or another. Every department, no matter where you worked, I was a radioman. At some point, everybody got mess duty for a couple of weeks. Volunteers. Not the funnest job in the world, but everybody had to do it. You either got volunteered to wash the dishes, serve the food, or me, on the first ship, the USS Cunningham that I was on, I got to work in the officers' wardroom serving the officers, which was really cool. I was telling those guys up there that are volunteering in the wardroom that many times I would be coming in from a very busy party and weekend, and I'd sleep on the couch in the wardroom. And that way I guaranteed I wouldn't be late to serve breakfast to the officers. And I had a couple of cool officers that would come in early and wake me up and say, hey, go get up, go get dressed before the captain comes in and sees you laying in here. Because I'd have gotten a lot of trouble. Now we've made our way onto the upper decks. Here's the quartermaster's chart room. The radio office should be somewhere up in this area. Only on the Mississippi was the radio room. Here's the CO's cabin. He's always got the nicest room on the ship, of course. Unless you're on the aircraft carrier, and then the admiral's got the best room. While in port, that's interesting. Never seen that before. But radio is usually on the upper decks, closer to the bridge. Except the Mississippi, it was located on the lower decks. That was the nuclear cup. There's the radar. Mississippi, it was actually it was on the main level. It wasn't on the lower level, it was main level. Radar room, but it's completely blacked out. Radar annex. Nothing to see. Figured it was worth a shot to try. There's a Radio room, there's where I would have worked, and there I am right there. Radio room. The voice of the ship was within this compartment. This area housed equipment such as sophisticated cryptograph, high-speed teletypes for a common Morse code keypad. Top secret was a common term, as well as sailor, your wife just had a boy. That is correct. That is top secret, so you cannot see in there except for there's RM2 crib right there. Hello everybody. Wonder if I can turn the light on and look in there. Nope. Worth the shot. We tried. But on later ships, because it was a very secure room, even the commanding officer would not come into this room. There was like a door, like a bank teller, where we could pass the messages off to the departments when they're coming to pick it up. This one did not have that. That's what I'm looking for, but older ships like the Cunningham had bunny tubes, which was air pneumatic tubes where you could actually send them via tubes, kind of like that up there. Again, like the bank tellers where you put your deposits in, hit the send button, and then the air just kind of shoots it where it needs to go. Pretty cool. Boy, I wish we could get in there. That would be awesome. But I was able to get into the radio room on the USS Wisconsin. If you want to watch that video, we were up in Norfolk, Virginia a couple of years ago, and that was pretty cool. We took a full tour there. Take a look at that one if you get a chance. We're not going to spend too much more time here on the USS Laffey. We are going to make our way over to the aircraft carrier. We have a tour, a VIP tour. It's called the Captain's Tour. Really looking forward to that. So on these old type of destroyers, which later became popular on frigates, this is a helicopter bay, and there's the garage door there. Frigates had these. Destroyers did away with them over time, but the frigates were able to house the helicopters. But we got a captain's tour coming up on the aircraft carrier, so we're getting ready to head over there. Thank you guys for watching. Mount Pleasant, Patriots Point. Hope you guys enjoy this small video of the USS Laffey destroyer. Please do me a favor, hit the like button. If you haven't already done so, please make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can ring the bell for just military notifications if you want. If you want to ring the bell for all the notifications, please feel free to. I'd love that, but you don't have to. Again, leave comments if you served in the military, if you've got a family member that served or is currently serving. I'd love to hear about it. Tell me where they served, when they served, and what they do. I was a radioman. 1989, 1999, 3 ships, 1 shore duty. I went to boot camp in San Diego, California, RTC San Diego. I went to RMA school in San Diego. And as I mentioned, the first ship I went to after RMA school was USS Cunningham, Adams class destroyer, DDG-17. From there, after it decommissioned when it blew up, I went to the USS Mississippi, nuclear cruiser, CGN-40, also in Norfolk, Virginia. That's where I went to Desert Storm on. And then from the USS Mississippi, I went to the USS John F. Kennedy Aircraft Carrier, CV-67. In between the Mississippi and the aircraft carrier, I did shore duty, Oceana Naval Air Station, Virginia Beach, Virginia. You see a pattern there? Norfolk, Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, Virginia Beach, and Norfolk, Virginia. And then the reserves, I did get stationed here in Charleston on a small frigate. But that's a story for another day. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Now stick around. We're going on the aircraft carrier USS Yorktown. Let's go. But we're not quite done yet. We got to go to the signal bridge. We got to go to the captain's bridge. So being a radioman, you know, you have duties. There were times when I had to be a signalman when we were in port. Hey, there's a cruise ship in Charleston today. Beautiful day. You know, I've been out of the Navy for quite a long time, and I'm just now to the point where I think I want to go on a cruise. Yep, I think I want to go on a cruise. All right, let's go on the bridge and take a look. Destroyer bridge. Pretty small bridge, actually. Ah, there's an air pneumatic tube right there. So that would go straight to radio. Perfect, just talked about that. How cool is that? That would be the captain's chair or the officer on duty chair. So the inside of the bridge area. All ahead full, all ahead full. Now the CIC is behind us. We're getting ready to go in there. It says you may now enter CIC. CIC very close to the radioman radio room, very secret room. We work real close with the
Behind me
OSs.
stands a wall that encircles the free sectors of this city, part of a vast system of barriers. Those barriers cut across Germany in a gash of barbed wire, concrete, dog runs, and guard towers.
Sound like President
Mr.
Reagan.
Gorbachev, open this gate.
Aha, that was. Okay, so here's the captain's sea cabin.
Mr. Gorbachev,
And there's another
down this wall.
air pneumatic tube. So on this ship, boy, he was so close it was ridiculous. Okay, that'd be too close to the action. But CIC, that's where your operations specialists worked out of. Very dark area, very red. The lights were red, very secretive area. They have just recently opened this up, as I'm been informed. So we're gonna go inside and take a look. It's very cool that it's still open.
You are now entering the Combat Information Center. Please carefully make your way in and find a place where you can easily give your attention to the lieutenant standing in front.
Okay,
We invite you to sit in the seats at the radar screens or find a comfortable place to stand.
all right.
Your 6-minute Cold War CIC experience will begin right away, and your attention throughout this experience is appreciated. You will be instructed when it is time to exit.
All right, Lieutenant, we're here.
Lieutenant Waters, report to the bridge.
Welcome to the Combat Information Center, the nerve center of the ship and where all the action is. I'm Lieutenant Miller, and today we are monitoring activity out here in the Mediterranean. And with the Cold War, there's plenty of activity, particularly with the Russians. At present, we're tracking a Russian Tu-95 reconnaissance aircraft. also known as Bear, on our air search radar behind me. His coordinates are then manually tracked on the main plot board here. Soviet reconnaissance aircraft have been buzzing the fleet for days, and it looks like any minute that Bear will be flying right over us. Over the last several years, the Soviets' presence here has steadily grown. There he goes. Yeah, they love to photograph us and Now where you entered is the SP-4 radar tech, and he keeps track of the surface ships around us. Until a contact is identified, it's designated a skunk, and there are a lot of skunks out there, both warships and merchant ships. The text on the SPAA radars directly in front of me track and monitor both air and surface activity, while those two plotting tables there track our position along with the other vessels. Okay, those are a pair of F-4 Phantoms from the Saratoga. They're on their way to escort that Russian Bear out of the air. Currently, we're in battle condition 3 ASW. That's anti-submarine warfare. And we're in a search pattern investigating a possible sub-contact made by one of our sonar buoys. If there's anything down there, our sonar techs over there will find it.
Sonar contact, bearing 036, range 11,000 yards.
Sounds like he has something.
Bridge combat, sonar contact 036, range 11,000.
Sonar contact 036, 11,000, bridge 9.
General quarters, general quarters.
It's a very serious, high-risk situation. It appears sonar has pinged a sub about 6 miles off our starboard bow, way too close for comfort. And if it's a Soviet sub, that puts us in the range of his torpedoes. Just in case, our Mark V targeting director is connected to sonar and has automatically plotted a firing solution to the target.
Sonar contact on course 140, 4 knots.
Bridge combat, sonar contact on course 140, 4 knots.
Sonar contact on course 140, 4 knots, bridge I. Continue to report the bearing and range of the contact.
Continue to report bearing and range I.
He's moving slow, at only 4 knots, submerged and trying to be silent. We have to assume it's an Ivan, a Soviet sub. Our captain's keeping close track of his bearing and range.
Sonar contact bearing 090, range 11,000 yards.
Bridge combat, sonar contact 090, range 11,000. Recommend new course 140.
Sonar contact 090, 11,000. Set new course 140, bridge
We're
I.
coming right to shadow him. No doubt he knows we're onto it. Right now, he's determining our range, course, and speed from the bearing rate of our active sonar. This is a touchy situation. Let's hope they're not ready to start World War III today.
Sonar control, secure active sonar. Listen for discrete frequencies to classify the target.
Securing active sonar.
Okay, I need everyone to be very quiet while the sonar tech listens over the hydrophone to try and identify the class of sub we're dealing with.
George.
Pretty quiet, sir. Based on frequency, it sounds like a Soviet Echo 2 class submarine.
Bridge combat, sonar contact is a Soviet Echo 2 class submarine.
Sonar contact is Soviet Echo 2 class submarine, bridge I.
Worse than I thought. This is a Soviet nuclear sub, armed with cruise missiles that can take out both us and the Saratoga. But he has to be surfaced to launch, and we cannot allow that to happen.
Sir, there's a different sound. Transient.
great.
Could be putting a torpedo tube.
Let's be
It's hard to
sure.
tell at this range.
Combat bridge, what is the current bearing to the contact?
Contact bears 355 degrees relative.
355 degrees relative, bridge I.
Sonar control, energize active sonar.
Energizing active sonar. I.
This is a very dangerous game they're playing with us.
New targeting solutions calculated. Mark 46 torpedoes. Ready.
Sonar contact on course 130, 6 knots, 11,000 yards. Turning away, sir.
Bridge combat, sonar contact 130, 6 knots, 11,000 yards.
Sonar contact 130, 6 knots, 11,000 yards, bridge I.
That was close. It looks like now he's decided to increase the distance between us and him, as he's changed course and speed to open range. I guess he realized this was a game no one was going to win.
Sonar contact 130, 6 knots, 11,200 yards.
Bridge combat, contact 130, 6 knots, 11,200 yards.
Sonar contact 130, 6 knots, 11,200 yards, bridge I.
He's now got that sub right where he wants it. And I'm sure he's going to hold him down for a while.
Secure from general quarters. Maintain battle condition.
One wrong move at the wrong time could trigger World War III.
Yep.
This is a good time for you to exit, as I need to get back to work. If everyone else only knew the situations we
Now, the only thing missing from all that was a whole lot of F-bombs and some very language that you don't normally hear. Well, on these YouTube videos, how about that? Sonar listening, they's usually, I never went there. Didn't have anything to do with the sonar guys. Well, hope you enjoyed this little tour of CIC. That was pretty cool. Man's best friend on a U.S. Navy ship. Coffee maker. So here is the signal bridge, top of the ship, of course. Well, not really the top. That's the top. That's where we had to go up. As radiomen, we had to do repairs way up there. I hope you can see it. The sun is shining way too bright. There were times, sometimes even at sea, when we had to go all the way up there and make repairs. But this is the basic top of the ship. Signal bridge, signal shack. And I did have to do signal duty sometimes, and I'll tell you a secret. When the USS Mississippi came into port after Desert Storm, I was on duty as a signalman, and it just so happens to be just maybe from here to the cruise ship. Damn Yankees were playing in a hangar bay for free, welcoming home the troops. And I snuck out. I was on duty. I snuck out. Derelict of duty from my job as a signalman on duty that night. And I went to go see damn Yankees play. When I got back, yep, they were looking for me. But I got coverage. One of my buddies, radioman, covered me. Told him that I'd went across to do my laundry. The laundry mat was right across the street from the ship. So I got away with it. Not proud of it, but I did get to see the damn Yankees. Proud of that. How many Japanese planes did we take down? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 24. Pretty cool. Battle East, 3. All right, now we're gonna wrap up this video. I wanted to make sure, we did make a quick video, but I wanted to make sure we saw as much as we possibly could for you here on the Destroyer USS LAFFEY. Now we're gonna make our way over to the aircraft carrier. Again, thanks for watching. We are making our way off the ship, I promise, but we're taking the scenic route. I happened to see a sign that says not on the tour, but the door was open. So I figured, why not? Let's take a look at these gun mounts. How cool is that?
guys that worked in these are wearing hearing aids today. Yeah.
Well, I worked in the radio room and I still suffer from tinnitus as well, so I think most people do.